This is who the media claims is elevating the WNBA. This is who the media has spent the last year wasting time trying to convince us that Angel Reese is responsible for elevating the dump.
Ever notice how the loudest claims often collapse under the gentlest questioning? Angel Reese, a prominent figure in women's basketball, made waves last season with a bold statement. People watch women's basketball because of me too. It was a declaration that stirred both admiration and skepticism. But when recently confronted by a Chicago Sky reporter about whether she still stood by that claim, Reese responded with two words that went viral for all the wrong reasons. Next question. Let's rewind a bit. Reese's assertion followed the 2023 NCAA championship game, where her LSU Tigers defeated Caitlin Clark's Iowa Hawkeyes in a dramatic and widely viewed matchup. Reese used this moment to position herself not just as a key player, but as an influential figure in the surge of interest in women's basketball. In her own words, "I'll take the bad guy role. I'll go down in history." The reason why we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too. Fast forward to the 2025 WNBA season, and that powerful statement came back to haunt her. At a recent press conference, a reporter asked if she still believed in that narrative. Reese's abrupt next question response silenced the room. No stats, no defense, no elaboration, just a quick escape that spoke louder than any prepared speech might have. The silence didn't go unnoticed. Instead of providing evidence to support her claim, Reese deflected, leaving fans and critics to interpret the avoidance for what it was, an admission that reality no longer matched the rhetoric. The viral moment became an unintentional punchline in a growing debate over who truly drives viewership in women's basketball. Let's look at the numbers. Last season, the Chicago Sky averaged just 8,000 fans per game. The Indiana Fever, led by Caitlin Clark, consistently sold out Gainbridge Fieldhouse with over 17,000 fans in attendance per game. Where Reese's games felt like standard WNBA fare, Clark's events had the feel of a cultural phenomenon. Entire cities shifted their calendars for Clark appearances. For Reese, not so much. Reese spoke of sold-out arenas and celebrity attendance, yet the numbers tell a different story. Her preseason homecoming game at LSU drew just 6,000 fans in an arena that seats over 13,000. Not even half full. Chicago Sky's preseason match against the Minnesota Lynx brought in just 4,600 fans. Another Lynx match in Minnesota drew 7,600. These aren't the kind of figures that reflect a national icon or revolutionary draw. By contrast, Clark's homecoming at Carver Hawkeye Arena saw 15,000 tickets sell out in 45 minutes. Her games, even preseason exhibitions, commanded average ticket prices of over $600. That's more than what most NBA teams see for regular season games. This isn't hype. It's history in the making. Then there's merchandise. Caitlin Clark's jersey became the second highest selling basketball jersey in the U.S. in 2024, only behind Steph Curry. Reese didn't crack the top 10. Clark's marketability has transcended college and professional sports, and she's doing it without needing to tell people she's a draw. The numbers do that for her. Angel Reese has leaned into the villain role narrative, embracing controversy and feeding off the backlash. But playing the villain only works when it draws attention and crowds. If the audience isn't buying tickets, jerseys, or tuning in, then the villain role feels more like performance without a stage. Reese's mother added fuel to the fire by tweeting in response to the discourse, suggesting that some fans are focused on attendance while others are focused on championships. While that tweet might have sounded triumphant, it felt more defensive, an attempt to shift the goalposts when attendance clearly wasn't in their favor. Meanwhile, Clark and the Indiana Fever have launched a merchandising and branding blitz unlike anything seen in the WNBA. The Now You Know campaign, centered around Clark, features shirts that say, "Every game is a home game," referencing how arenas fill up regardless of where the Fever play. Teams are even relocating games to larger NBA venues just to accommodate the demand when Clark visits. This isn't about tearing down Angel Reese. She's a talented athlete with a strong fan base and undeniable impact on LSU's title run. But the idea that she's an equal draw to Caitlin Clark is increasingly difficult to defend. When challenged to provide evidence to support her claim, she didn't offer data, examples, or perspective. Just next question. The contrast could not be clearer. While Clark leads in ticket sales, viewership, merchandise, and celebrity endorsements, Reese's influence remains more localized and less quantifiable. It's not that she has no impact, it's that she vastly overestimated it. And the media cycle is now reminding her of that. Let's be real. Media narratives often favor the bold and the brash. Reese took advantage of that, made her case to the public, and briefly controlled the conversation. But bold claims invite scrutiny. And when scrutiny arrives, you either double down with proof or back away with grace. Reese did neither. The numbers, however, continue to speak volumes. The Indiana Fever will have 41 out of 44 games nationally televised this season. That's a 93% national coverage rate, unprecedented in WNBA history. This is not happening because of Reese. It's the Caitlin Clark effect, and it's reshaping the entire league. Clark doesn't need to clap back. She doesn't need to make statements about being the reason fans tune in. Her performances, her drawing power, and her influence are doing all the talking. Meanwhile, Reese's silence has become just as revealing. She wanted to be a central figure in the women's basketball boom. She still can be, but it requires humility, consistency, and results. In this story, the truth isn't hiding in bias or opinion. It's laid bare in statistics, attendance figures, merchandise sales, and broadcast schedules. The verdict is in bold words demand bold results. Reese made her claim, but now it's Clark who's delivering on the promise. It's not the role of the media or the fans to blindly endorse every player who makes noise. It's their job to ask questions, even uncomfortable ones. The moment Reese deflected with next question, she signaled that her narrative had cracked. It's not about being the villain anymore. It's about being accountable. So if you're Team Clark, maybe it's time to drop a baby goat over baby giraffe in the comments. And if you're still riding with Reese, it might be time to ask her to back up the words with performance, not platitudes. Because in the world of professional sports, especially one striving for greater attention like the WNBA, the spotlight doesn't lie. And right now, it's shining brightest on Caitlin Clark. While both Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA with high expectations, their rookie seasons have unfolded differently. Reese's bold statements have yet to translate into tangible results for Chicago Sky, whereas Clark's presence has revitalized the Indiana Fever and significantly boosted the league's visibility and popularity. The contrast between their impacts underscores the importance of not only talent, but also strategic organizational support and audience engagement in professional sports. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more WNBA updates.